What's up, 2D Gang? It's your girl 2D Gram, back with another video. As y'all can tell by the title, this is a day late, but we still gonna get into it. So make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get straight into it. So this is gonna be the story time about how I found out that my aunt passed away. I call her TT, okay, but it's the same thing. So we're gonna go back to April 28th 2023, which is so ironic because that's my sister's birthday. So I remember Memorial Day weekend. Sorry about the background, y'all, it's storming outside. But I remember being at home just chilling, and all of a sudden my mom calls me. Mind you, my mom don't, like, she randomly calls me every now and then, but when she does call me randomly, it's about something, right? It's not like, oh, let's chat, catch up, nothing like that. Because me and her work together, so we don't really need to chill and chat and catch up like that. So she called me, and immediately I'm like, okay, what's going on? So then she tells me that my aunt was found deceased. And instantly I'm like, what do you mean found deceased, right? I'm not gonna put all of her personal business out there, but just know that yes, drugs were involved, okay? So she was, if you know anybody that's an addict, knows they have their cycles. They have the cycle where they're using, they decide they want to sober up, and then they go back and unfortunately relapse. It's a cycle, and it comes in waves, it comes and goes. You never know when it's gonna come, right? Well, that was the case for her, and it just sucked because, like, she was, first of all, no one knew where she was. She wasn't really around anybody that could, like, quickly get to her if we needed it and stuff like that. I mean, she was around people, but clearly she wasn't around the right people at the time, clearly. So to make a long story short, I was in disbelief when I found out. I was in complete disbelief, and I remember I like broke the fuck down. Like, I literally did, because she helped, I ain't gonna say she helped raise me, but she was definitely like a part of my life in a big way. For the ones that wanted to know where Tootie came from, she literally helped give me that nickname. I didn't watch this show growing up because of course it was before my time, but Facts of Life, the main character Tootie, that's where my nickname came from, because they said growing up that's how I acted. Like, that's the attitude she had, that was me. Like, I was the sassy snapback, you know, like, that was me. So that's where Tootie came from. Now there's only a select people that would call me that, but it always meant and felt something different when she called me that. So when I started embracing the nickname in high school. So I was always gonna be called Tootie. Like, I literally had a whole period where if you were not calling me Tootie, I was not answering. I was not responding to my government name. I was like, no, no. But when she passed away 2 years ago, that's when it really hit me. Like, bro, no matter what, I can never get rid of the nickname Tootie. Like, Tootie is always gonna be embedded in me. It's always gonna be embedded, no matter what now, because like I said, it felt so different when she called it to me, besides everybody else. So, bawling my eyes out, crying, of course, to my man, called my dad, because my dad was very close to her too. So, you know, it's getting around the family. And where we grew up, it's a tight-knit town. So there's so many people that know everybody. And then, unfortunately, she had a very common name, first and last name. So people were getting confused, like, it wasn't her that died, it was the other one. And it's like, no, it was my TT. I was told, like, they identified the body, they got the evidence, like, that's my TT that passed away. So, when she passed away, it was very hard for me to like progress, because mind you, this happened over a holiday weekend. I had to go to work like a few days later. Still not, it didn't hit me. And with me and my mom working together, it was just so bittersweet, because not only did I lose an aunt, she lost a sister. And then my grandma lost a child, you know? So I'm like, bro, there's so many levels to this. It was just really, really hard for all of us to process. And then on top of that, my TT's daughter was pregnant at the time. So it's just like a whole bunch of like, it was a lot. It was a lot. Y'all, I remember when we told my job about it, my mom couldn't, she was so choked up she couldn't say it. So she wanted me to say it. And I'm like, well, if you can't say it, how you expect me to say it? So the good thing is I told my manager about it, so she was able to, you know, like let everybody know what was going on. But as soon as it was said out loud, like we both heard it, we like completely like went ballistic and hysterical. It was like, that's when it kind of really hit, like, wow, somebody else just said it. Like, it's different when you hear it from somebody else, like in your family, but then when people start like relaying it and keep saying it, it's like, wow, this shit is real. Like, you know, I can't escape it. Like, this really happened. And that's kind of how it was when I found out that my great grandmother died. It was the same way. Like, I'm in denial. Like, I'm not believing in it. It's like, and the difference between my TT and my great grandma is that I saw my great grandma. I saw her. I saw it. I didn't see my aunt. I didn't see my TT. But it still hit the same. Like, both of those ladies were a big part of my life. So it just hit basically the same for both of them. I feel like it hit a little bit harder for my TT because of the situation she was in. I think that really like hit me even more. And like I said, it happened on my sister's birthday. So I'm like, bro, like, it's supposed to be a happy day because, you know, I'm celebrating my sister, but then at the same time, I just lost my aunt. So it's like, I'm torn. But it was so crazy because we were trying to figure out what day the funeral and everything should be on. And the only available date they really had was on my other aunt's birthday. And they were like, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to have it on her birthday. My aunt said no. Do it on my birthday. She, like, to her, I feel like maybe it was I can't speak for her, but I feel like it might have been like a sense of closure. And it, like, maybe she was making peace with it. Like, you know what? She's gone. We can't bring her back, but at least let her be buried on my birthday. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that just felt better for her. But yeah, we buried okay, so I had two aunts, right? And I mean, I have multiple aunts, but we're talking about these specific two. Buried one aunt that passed away on my other aunt's birthday. Meanwhile, my aunt died on my sister's birthday. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Like, yeah, so still cannot believe 2 years later that it happened. I'm trying not to get emotional because I'm pregnant and I'm trying to do a poker face. I really am. I don't know how, why, when, where, but between TT and Gigi, they always guide me with the help of God. Like, when I say those are two of my guardian angels, I'm not even joking. Because in any situation I'm in, they're always there. I want to say it's either or, but I feel like they both work together when it comes to me. Because I know TT, she always showing up. Baby, she didn't play about me. She didn't play about me. So I already know she is, but it's like, it's just so crazy because I have the image of her when Gigi died in 2020. She was like one of the last to come in the funeral home, and she was hysterical. She was hysterical because that was her grandma. She was hysterical when she died. We had the same funeral home for hers. And I just got this sense of deja vu, like, oh my God, she's not gonna come through them doors being hysterical. Because it's her turn now. Like, that was just so, like, eerie to me. Like, wow. Just 3 years later, girl, now it's you. Like, it's just like, I couldn't process, couldn't wrap my head around. The funeral day was just so hard. Like I said, it was my other aunt's birthday. It was just so hard because my TT was just this, she was a ball of energy. She really was. She was a ball of energy. And everybody loved her. Yeah, she had her faults and flaws like everybody else. But when she was around, you had fun. You enjoyed yourself. And it's just like, I had to hold it in. My mom had to hold it in. My grandma had to hold it in. Like, everybody had to hold it in as much as we could. But it just sucks for my grandma because it's like she literally lost a child. You should never bury your child. And she has to bury with her children. And she tried to hold it in as much as she could. She really did. Like, she did a speech and everything. So when she broke down in front of everybody, that broke my mom down. And I'm like, bro, now I have to be the strong one for all of this. Like, the burden was just so much. But I knew I had to keep it together for my mom. Because she couldn't keep it together for hers. Y'all, it was a lot. It was a lot. My cousin, which is my TT's daughter, she kept it in as much as she could. Like I said, she was pregnant. But she kept it in as much as she could. Which I actually love that about her, because I feel like besides my grandma, she should have been the one really like going through it. But I feel like it didn't hit home to her yet. She didn't really like ball out and fall out until she was actually put into the ground. That's when she lost it. It still doesn't, it doesn't feel real still. And it's only been 2 years. Mind you, my grandma's been gone for 5 and it still doesn't feel real. But I know, like I said, that they're guiding me. They're gonna help me throughout this pregnancy. They're probably the ones that was conspiring with God, like, get her ass pregnant. She needs a baby. Like, she's waiting forever. She needs one. I felt like they conspired with him, and they're like, yep, she's gonna get a baby, regardless if she wants it or not. But I know that they're gonna help me through the journey. They know what I'm scared of, they know what I'm afraid of, but I know that when it gets down to that delivery room, they're gonna be there guiding me just like they continue to do every day. But this is a testament that no matter how long ago a loved one has passed, it still hurts. It still hurts. You might not cry every day about it. You can probably look at memories and, you know, not get emotional. But it's still, there's still a void there. Unfortunately, you have to just live with it. But keep their legacy going. Like, I don't post on her page a lot, but when I do, I try to keep that alive. Like, again, everybody has flaws, but one of her strong suits is that she always made sure that everybody was in good spirits, no matter what the situation was. She was never a person that wanted to see anybody upset, and that's what I love about her the most. Is that even in like the craziest situations, she would always try to keep a smile on your face. I said I wasn't gonna cry. I said I wasn't gonna cry, but clearly it was gonna happen regardless, which is fine. But I just wanted y'all to know how I found out, since the anniversary was yesterday. It wasn't nothing crazy like how my great grandma's. Hers literally was a decline because of age. Hers was simply for drug use. Still doesn't take away the pain and the hurt, but I still wish she didn't have to suffer like that. So to anyone that has a family member that was in her position, it's really nothing for you to do. You can tell them to get help, because we've done all of that. Told her to get help, want better for yourself, but at the end of the day, they gotta want it for themselves. They have to want it for themselves in order for them to do anything. And if there is anyone that is or was in her situation, please know that your life is way more important than those drugs. It only takes one time to mess with them drugs and it's over. It only takes one. Because I know a lot of people like to think, oh, I've done it for years, it can't be me. It can be anybody at any time. You never know when it's your time. So I won't be doing any more of these depressing story times with y'all. I just wanted to get these story times out of the way because I never did them. And I know a lot of people knew about the situations but didn't know like the extent of what was going on. So I just decided, you know what, since their anniversaries were coming up, let me just go ahead and get them out the way. That way you guys know what happened. But moving away from the depressing story times, the rest of the content will be joyful, happy, pregnancy, some of the same stuff as before I got pregnant. We're just not really going to be doing like weight loss journey right now. That's on hold. I'm still going to be working out and stuff like that, but it's just not going to be a weight loss journey because I'm not going to be losing any weight, y'all. Sorry to the community that was, you know, riding with me when it came to that. I'm so sorry, y'all. Like, it's just a bump in the road. We're going to be back. Just give me till next year and we'll be back. I promise. Just give me a little while. But like I said, we're going to do really good with this pregnancy content moving forward. And hopefully within the next few days, you guys will get the official announcement. That way we can really get into gear with all the content. But thank you guys so much for joining. And